Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Chad Nicola with Virginia Police Department.
I'm Rachel Sheik with the Hibbing Police Department.
Today, we're here to tell you a little bit about an exciting event that we have coming up in March that both the Virginia Police Department and Hibbing Police Department are co-sponsoring with Special Olympics Minnesota, and it is going to be our Iron Range Polar Plunge 2024. So, Rachel, I'm going to throw it on you for a second here.
Okay.
How exactly, because we're doing this in Hibbing, and how exactly did we kind of get to this point now where we're taking this venture with Special Olympics Minnesota?
Well, spoke with Special Olympics when they came up for the torch run. As you know, we've been doing the torch run together for our different cities for multiple years now, which is for the Special Olympics as well. And when the Special Olympics representatives was in town, I talked to her about the plunge and how it would be a great opportunity to use the Iron Range. We have so many different lakes in the area, and then it could be a different lake every year or every couple years, and we could highlight different areas on the range and have different police departments working together, and they thought it was a great idea. So that's why I went and pestered you.
Isn't that the truth?
Because I knew how much you were already into Special Olympics and helping out in the community with a lot of different events. And little did I know that you had already been looking into possibly getting a plunge up in your area.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I want to take a second to thank Sergeant Adam Cleffman from the St. Louis County Sheriff's Department. Deputy Cleffman was an officer out in Washington State. He's a graduate from Hibbing High School. He had been an officer out there, and he had gotten involved big time with Special Olympics out there. And when he came back to Minnesota, that's when he brought it back to this area. And, you know, certainly he's the one that reached out to me at the Virginia PD to say, hey, you know, is this something you guys would be interested in? And boy, I think 2016, 2017 timeframe, I want to say, was our first Special Olympics torch run. That's always held in June, usually, what about the second or third week of June, I want to say we do it. Yeah. But just a great opportunity to get together with our local Special Olympics athletes. And I know over on the east end of the range, we have the Road Runners, and over here you guys have
the Rangers.
The Rangers. So kind of neat that we have different Special Olympics groups that are in the area as well. And they always then go down, typically it's down in the Twin Cities area where they actually have their Special Olympics event every single summer, shortly after the torch run. And it's really neat that we get to spend some time with them just prior to them going down and actually having their events. So to me, it's really cool that as an agency, we can kind of give back to them. And I know during the torch run, the Special Olympics Minnesota, it's kind of one of their fundraisers to where we always do the t-shirt sales.
Yes.
And you can buy hats and things like that for Special Olympics. And each year they come up with a new really neat one and stuff like that. So, you know, shout out to a lot of, I know, our local businesses over in Virginia this last summer, because we had a ton of folks that were donating, and we raised money for Special Olympics Minnesota. And then some of the local businesses specifically donated to our local Special Olympics group, the Road Runners, so that way we could help send them off and they could have a good time. And it's expensive for them to go down there.
Yes, it's a huge expense, and that's also all the proceeds go towards a huge fund for everybody to be able to use. But our Special Olympics teams themselves, they also have their own little funds that they go by. And if they don't have enough, that's when they try and ask for assistance through the state Minnesota Plunge. But in getting that extra attention for all these athletes, it helps them to promote all of what they've accomplished. And then also highlights different areas and different things that they've done. I mean, they're in all kinds of different, they're in basketball, bowling,
all the track and
field, tennis.
I know the track and fields are always some of the most popular events, that's for sure. But yeah, a lot of team events, and I mean, it's really neat things that they get to go. And I know a lot of it also, you know, it's expensive for them to do the training involved and things like that and get together as a group. So yeah, I mean, it's awesome that they have the fundraisers that they have. Now, my understanding is the Special Olympics t-shirts and everything for the torch run is a good fundraiser, but my understanding is the Polar Plunge is the big fundraiser that they have every year.
It is the big event, yes. Some of the little sayings, which one of my favorites is freezing for a reason. So, but,
There's nothing wrong with that.
we're in Minnesota. We can handle the cold.
Yep.
So just asking those people to come on out for a good cause. And we know you guys like to jump in the cold lakes anyway.
Polar plunge in Florida just isn't as neat as polar plunge in Minnesota.
No, it is not. It's actually going to be a great event. Talking with the Representative Heather Fleetwood. She's been really great in working with us step by step throughout the whole process. We're going to be having a registration tent at Carey Lake that's going to be right in the parking lot.
Yep.
So buses will be able to drop off right at the tent.
Nice.
And then parallel to the tent, right down this, it's a very small slope, so it's not like a big slope where you have to worry about falling down.
Carey
It
Lake.
is
Here we
Carey
have it
Lake.
right behind us.
It'll be right on where the sand is.
Yep.
And then there's going to be a little walkway out to the ice where it's going to be cut open. So there's going to be a little fence line where people can walk, and there is even carpet that we're going to be putting down on the ice.
Nice.
So it'll be easier on people so that way they can go barefoot down the walkway if they wanted to.
Nice.
And come back and go straight into the changing tents.
Yep.
But we're going to get the big bear.
Oh,
The
yeah.
big-
It's a big, huge inflatable polar bear. I can't wait to see that thing. You know, and if you go online, there's a ton of great pictures of past events. So, I mean, you can check it out and see, and they're very similar setup. That's going to be at Carey Lake. So, I mean, you'll see the people, a lot of people dress up, a lot of people
I
come
love
as
that part.
individuals, come people as teams. You know, and I think a lot of people have asked me the question on, you know, okay, if you want to go do the plunge, how exactly then do you raise money, you know, for Special Olympics? So can you walk people through that a little bit, how that all works?
How they
How you actually, I mean, can you go online to register? Can you?
well, you can go online to plungeminnesota.org, and we have a bunch of flyers that are around town, and different businesses actually have them up. There's this little registration code, so like if you scan your phone to the registration, you can actually go online to either donate yourself or register for the event, for you, yourself, or a group. There's also going to be these up in some of our restaurants in town as well as in
Yep.
Virginia.
Yep, absolutely.
And of course I didn't put it together,
Ah.
but they're gonna be on little tables. So on one side has the pictures and then that same code, and then it also has all of the different plunge sites for this year listed on the other side. So,
So I checked, so if you go to, let me make sure I got the website right.
Yep.
So plungemn.org. If you go on there, I know at the top there's it'll say locations. And if you click on that, you look for the Iron Range location. That's obviously our location at Carey Lake for March 16th. If you want to register as an individual, you can go on the website and do that. If you want to register a team or your family, and as you go through the registration, it'll ask you, you know, if you're a first responder or if you're a first responder team. It'll ask you if you're a family or a local business or an organization. So, you know, you can just list yourself however. And then, you know, kind of the big thing is promoting
Yes.
yourself, that you are a team out there. So it's nice because you can just share your personal link that you get then, and you can put it on your Facebook page, you can put it on your business's website, and you can enlist people to then donate to
Yes.
your actual team. And it's kind of neat now because when you go on the website and it shows the Iron Range, I think we have close to, if not 50 plungers signed up. And that's, you know, some individuals, some teams. And I expect that to grow big time here over the next month, that's for sure. But then it also shows, so we can kind of have a little bit of a competition on who's doing what as far as fundraising is concerned. And
Yes.
I saw mine was ticked up to $130, so hopefully after this video I can tick that up just a little bit more. So
hear that, Hibbing people?
yeah, Hibbing
We need a
people,
little extra
come
help.
on, come on, no doubt. But no, so it was really neat. And you know, Special Olympics kind of always sets for each location kind of a goal. And I know for our Iron Range plunge, it's like $45,000. And by all means, if we can blow that out of the water, it'll be absolutely wonderful. For our first year, that was just kind of where they set the goal at. We're already at a little over, I think, $4,000. You know, so we're doing quite
yeah.
well. So, you know, by all means, for those people out there that can't necessarily or are unable to come out and take the plunge with us that day, we'd still sure like them to maybe find a team or an individual to support.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
think that would be very cool, and we do have a little competition going on between Virginia and Hibbing to see which town can bring in the most. Now, obviously, I think Hibbing has a little bit of a leg up having it this year in Hibbing at Carey Lake, but that's okay because I know Virginia's going to show out, and we're going to do really well in the fundraising. Anyways, I saw today there's actually quite a few organizations from Virginia already on there, so that's good. And I have several more. I'm looking at you that promised that you would sign up, so hopefully you will soon. So, but yeah, I think those are kind of the big things. So
one other thing which I thought was really great that our city council has actually allowed for us to do is the city buses in
oh yes,
Hibbing.
absolutely.
Because as anybody who's been to Carey Lake knows, it's a little bit of a bottleneck. So when you're driving up, and then there is a parking lot, but the parking lot is not big enough for all of our plungers to actually be there and park. So what our city has allowed for us to do is to have the city buses pick up directly in town. I'm still working on what businesses to pick up at, but I do have an absolute for Sportsman's. Sportsman's is going to be a pickup place, and we will be posting this as well on Facebook as well as everywhere else, where the pickup locations are for everybody. But the buses will pick up and then drop off at Carey Lake, and they will loop around and wait for their people to plunge, get changed, and come back down, and then drive them back to these locations. Yep. So that way we won't have a bunch of vehicles up there. They'll have a warm ride to and from the lake. The second plunge location that we have, plunge location. Excuse me. The second pickup location that we have set up is the college here in town.
Yep.
So on 25th and Highway 169, the parking lot right there, which is actually the brand new main entrance to the Minnesota College
Yep.
in Hibbing. That is going to be a pickup location for anyone who doesn't want to go downtown to a restaurant and be there, but still wants to participate in the plunge.
And it's right there on the stretch out,
yep.
so it's
so
easy.
We're going straight down 25th
Yep.
to Carey Lake anyway, so we can pick you straight up. Minnesota Plunge also has some nice big signs that they have specifically for bus pickup, so you're going to see that. And then I'm working on having a squad or somebody there so that you'll have some lights and at least
Yep.
be able to see where to park for pickup. But
Well, and obviously we're going to have a lot of plungers out there, which is great. But it's always nice too if people are willing to come out and cheer on folks as well.
Absolutely.
Even if you're not interested in taking the plunge, and again, it's going to be mid-March, so still cold by Minnesota temperatures, but we'll see how long this cold weather lasts. But if people want to come out and cheer people on, we're going to have live music out there and just kind of a fun atmosphere again to celebrate the Special Olympics athletes and show our support for them. And again, fingers crossed we'll still have ice on Carey Lake at the time. I mean, I know it looks like a lot of ice right now, but we will see come March 16th. And I don't want to forget, I do want to thank both the Virginia and Hibbing City Councils for allowing us to do this. It's wonderful that they see that it is good to give back to organizations like the Special Olympics and whatnot. So I think that's huge for us. I think it's going to be a fun day. I think we have for sure one of the local radio stations coming out to do some live broadcasts that day.
I was told that Scott Hansen is
Okay,
actually going to
all
be
right.
emceeing for
Very
us.
cool.
So he's going to come out and freeze a little bit for us.
Oh, that'll be a good time.
It
That'll
would
be a
be.
good time. Well, if I see him before then, I'm going to find out if he's going to take the plunge or not.
I don't know.
We'll see. All right.
Can you do that with a microphone?
We're going to find out. They must have a waterproof one somewhere. So, all good.
Oh, I almost forgot one other thing. Obviously, it shows that the plunge is on March 16th. The very first plungers, which starts at 1 o'clock, is law enforcement and some of our Special Olympics athletes.
Some of the athletes that'll be there.
Yes. So, as you've said, even if somebody doesn't want to plunge, we would love for people to come out and watch all of this that's going on and maybe cheer on some of these people so that they jump right in with a smile,
Absolutely.
hopefully come out with one as well.
Well, and again, we're going to have warming tents out there, so after
Yes.
you jump in the lake, you can hop out and go warm up and change right away and everything else, and hopefully carry on and maybe go downtown and enjoy yourself a little bit after at one of our local establishments and relax for a little bit with family or friends or your team or whoever you went and did the plunge with. So good opportunity.
Yes.
Some
So-
good team building stuff for organizations
Yes.
and businesses that want to do something on a Saturday together, something fun like that, and give back a little bit.
That would be
That's
a
for sure.
great thing for them.
Absolutely.
The registration tents will be warm as well, so
Yep.
if you don't want to be straight down at the plunge site or if you want to come back up, we also have a little polar bear costume.
Oh, yes.
So you can get a picture with the bear.
Abs-
You
Bring
can
the
get a
kids down.
Get a picture with law
Yep.
enforcement, and
Yep.
we're going to have some squad cars there.
Possibly
We're-
some of the canine units on site as well.
I will see about that.
I'm
I
pretty sure
hope
Teddy's
so.
going to make an appearance. So
Well, then ours better too.
I was gonna say,
I guess I might have to pester her a little bit.
I'm sure Teddy will be there. So Teddy might do the plunge.
I don't really.
Why not? Why not? If I know Teddy,
That sounds awesome.
absolutely. So we will see. There's your challenge.
That's a
I'm
challenge.
throwing it down.
Well, now
Yep.
that we're throwing it out here, and is there any way for her to say no?
Brittany's in.
Brittany's
That's-
in.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, you hear that, Brittany?
Yep. Too bad.
Challenge.
Challenge. We'll see if it's accepted. No, it'll be fun though.
It will be
again,
fun.
hopefully nice weather. Again, I just really encourage people to consider putting a team in, or as an individual, or if you can't do the plunge, please find somebody you want to donate to help support. And it's one of those rare occasions where you can really give back to an awesome organization like Special Olympics.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
mean, wonderful, wonderful people. It's always a blast hanging out with them. I look forward. It's going to, it seems like the torch run always comes so quick, and we get to spend an afternoon with them, and then it's done, and that's it. And I get to see pictures of them online of the fun they had down at the actual Special Olympics. So it'll be nice to spend a good afternoon with them that Saturday in March. So.
Oh, well, they'll also have some additional merchandise at the registration tent. So if
Yes.
anybody does want to come down, and you can also purchase different shirts,
Yep.
sweaters. I believe they also have some mugs and
Yep.
some other
Hats and all kinds of stuff. So.
scarves and gloves.
Yep,
I
absolutely.
saw those too. So they have a lot of different merchandise. So if you wanted to come down and purchase something to help advertise
Yep.
for the Special Olympics, we're always happy to have you
Absolutely.
do that too.
No doubt. Absolutely. Anything else we missed?
Incentives. There are some incentives
Yes.
for packages. Actually, when you go on to plungemn.org, if you are signing up for the plunge, depending upon how many donations you're able to get, there's different incentives that are actually
Yep.
provided by the Special Olympics for you or your
Yep.
team.
Yeah, if you go on as an individual and there's different levels on, you met this much as on your fundraising goals, you get a t-shirt or a sweatshirt and things like that. So again, good incentive to do it as well. So, and again, at the end of the day, giving back to Special Olympics. So,
Absolutely.
okay.
Other than that, if anybody wants to help out
Yep.
in any way or has any questions that maybe we missed, feel free to call him.
And I'll pass the question on to her. All good. Virginia
any
PD,
office,
once
yeah.
again, Chad Nicola, you can get a hold of me, 218-748-7510. Just call City Hall, Virginia, and ask for me. What's your guys' number at the PD?
Oh, we changed our numbers.
I know.
Rachel Sheik with the Hibbing Police Department. Our phone number 218-403-5708. Oh, you know what? I'm going to give you my number because that's probably wrong. My number 218-421-4789, and that way you can get me directly.
Voila. All right. Well, thanks for coming and hanging out this afternoon. If you guys have any questions, let us know.